I think this is probably the first time since I've been back up the road that I've been out of contract coming to the summer. Obviously I've signed 2 extensions here in the previous kind of 3-4 years, so it's one of them. My contract's running out now. I'm still speaking to, I've got a really good relationship with the manager here, so he kind of understands the situation I'm in as well, kind of family life and that, and listen, we're still kind of speaking. There's no doors being closed anywhere, to be honest with you. So yeah, as I said, still speaking to the manager and almost kind of letting it play out. It's something and if you ask the manager, he'll kind of back me up on this. It's something I've never been involved in terms of talking to. Listen, I've never really spoke to. As I said, I've signed 2 contract extensions here, and I've never once spoke to the manager about them. They've just always kind of been done in the background, and other kind of people take care of that stuff. So it's hard enough playing in the Premier League without trying to, think about all these other things, and especially the position we're in just now and where we want to get to. It's kind of, I concentrate on the football side of it, and there's other people that kind of do that side of it for me. My own head just now, I want to be in the top 6. To be honest with you, I want to finish as high up as we can. I want to be the captain of the club that takes the club back to European football. That's what I want to do. So right now, that's my only concern, and getting up at 6:30 in the morning with me, man. He kind of takes up most of my thought process right now. Yeah, definitely, and that's probably one of the reasons it's maybe the contract situation's happened this year. I obviously do have kind of a young family now that I maybe need to take into consideration more than I did previously. But listen, it's something hopefully it can be resolved. In the not too distant future. But as I said, for me right now, I'm concentrating on the football side of it. Yeah, it would be strange, definitely. I think since I came in the door, it's only Pitts that's left. So there's usually there has been a big turnaround of players, and it does feel like, I'm one of the I'm the longest, apart from Pittman, the longest serving. So there's a couple of members of staff still the same, but even the kind of staff members have all changed since I've been here. So yeah, it would be strange. But as I said, it's not something that it's definitely going to happen. I think obviously having a good end to the season for myself and the club would hopefully be able to change that. Yeah, as I said, I think right now with the kind of my family life and having a young family, I think it's the first, and I'm 29 now, so I'm at an age that I'm coming up to probably my best couple of years, hopefully in the next few years. So I want to make sure, I'm in the place where I'll kind of get the best out of me, best out for my family as well. And that's kind of the situation that we're at just now. But as I said, I've got a great relationship with the manager, and he understands where my point of view, I understand his point of view in terms of the club. But as I said, we're not kind of shutting any doors on that either. No, definitely, it's not an easy conversation. Right now, the conversations usually start with, take the wee man, I'm going to sleep for an hour or whatever it is. But no, listen, it's kind of, look, like my wife's been brilliant for me ever since we've been together. She kind of jumped down, moved down south straight away. She was happy to do that. She obviously came back up the road a couple of years later, so her life's kind of changed a lot being with me, and I do really appreciate that from her point of view. But she'll probably be starting to get to the stage, and not so much long, because I think she's now understands. I think it's maybe other family members are kind of like, oh, what is it? Are people asking you what's happening, blah blah blah. I think she kind of understands the situation as well, and she realises, I've got to kind of look after her, Oliver, Josh, everybody now. Yeah, definitely. I think if he probably wasn't as understanding, it would make it much more difficult. And I think it's because of the situation. I completely understand it from the club's point of view. Like, the club would obviously rather know exactly what's happening with certain players. But as you said, because how understanding he is, and I think David's the manager's touched on it recently about kind of family life for him as well. It's obviously an important thing, and that's similar to me. I want to kind of put myself in a position that I give my family the best chance going forward. Yeah, it was a point on the board. To be fair, we would have obviously preferred to win the game. We were at home, and we want to make sure we win our home games, because I think if you can do that, then you give yourself a right good chance of being in top 6. So it was good to kind of stop the run of defeats. But we need to build on that now. We'll probably look back and think it was a good point if we can go and win this Saturday. But if we don't win this Saturday, then I think we'll probably look at it as an opportunity missed. Yeah, on paper it looks okay, but as we obviously seen from the Dundee United game, it doesn't always kind of work out like that. You're coming up against teams that have got probably real pressure on them in terms of maybe relegation battles and everything that comes with that. So we obviously know it's not going to be easy. And if we can the quicker we can pick up points, the better. We've got a few massive games, and obviously St Mirren one probably stands out in our kind of running in terms of playing a team near the top 6 as well. So, but we've just got to concentrate on Ross County. If we can pick up 3 points there, then we'll put ourselves in a good position, I think. Yeah, see, to be fair, it's not been difficult here because I think, don't get me wrong, I think the Hibs game, the second half, we were poor. But before that, the Rangers game and the Aberdeen game, especially Rangers here, I felt we were in the game. Obviously, with the guy sent off, and Stefan got sent off, and Rangers scored a free kick from it, which kind of killed the game. But that was with 10 minutes to go, so we felt we were well in the game. The Aberdeen game didn't really think there was much in it, to be honest. They scored a set play, and we kind of missed our chance. They cleared one off the line for us, so we didn't. I don't really think there's been much to do in terms of picking up, and that's just because like the dressing room we've got boys that are come in, listen, they're disappointed when we lose, but when the game's done, we have to kind of move on, and that's, you'll have heard, that's the manager's kind of message all the time. Once it's done, we can't affect it, we move on. I think just because of the position we're in this now, and there's 5 games to go, I think you're a point off it, 2 points off it. I think, listen, we'd be daft to kind of say that that's not what we're aiming to do now. As I said, there's only 5 games to go. When you get this close, and you are that close to maybe getting there, you kind of change your targets towards the end. And I think that's probably, it wasn't the target at the start of the season personally for us, but as the kind of longer it's went and the closer we've got, then yeah, I think definitely changes.